Mr. Danielson will be filming us today. So thank you for being here, Bruce.
Welcome to the December Park and Rec Board meeting. We have a roll call.
Boyd?
Here.
Heidi Abdallah?
Here.
Roy Lindquist?
Here.
Mark Steinhorn?
Here.
Ann Nocterville? Jim Stavanger?
Here.
Hudson?
Here.
Okay. First item of business is approval of the minutes from the November 15th Park Board meeting. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review those.
I move for approval.
Second.
We have a vote, please.
Pat Boyd?
Yes.
Heidi Abdallah?
Yes.
Roy Lindquist?
Yes.
Mark Steinhorn?
Yes.
Jim Stavanger?
Yes.
Hudson?
Yes.
Okay. Next, we've reached the public input portion of our meeting. And so we'd like to have the audience introduce themselves and say what agenda item they're here for, if it's for an agenda item. And if you are here for an agenda item, we ask that you wait to speak about that item until we get to that item on the agenda. But otherwise, if you have public input, this is the time to offer.
I'm Bruce Danielson, and I didn't see this on the agenda, so I wanted to bring it to your attention that you might be seeing me more often. I do videos of public meetings in Sioux Falls, and I just wanted to talk to you about something that Christine Erickson brought up at a recent city council meeting about starting to video record all the meetings. And first off, I'd like to give you a demonstration of how difficult it is to do a video recording of the meetings. And once you find the spot that you want to put it, you just can hit the button like that and you're recording the meetings that can then be put up online. I mean, that camera right there cost me $60. You know, some of my cameras are a bit more expensive, but you know, they all work. We citizens that want to see what goes on in all these boards would really appreciate being able to see it. And if this is too expensive to try and do something like this, you can see I set up 3 cameras in here right now. In some meetings I've had 5, just so I can get all the angles and be able to highlight whoever is speaking. And I just wanted you to know that I'm going to be coming more often. I was at a few last year, and we learned a lot, and people appreciate it when we do come and do this. And this board spends a lot of money, makes a lot of decisions for 173,300 people, that many of whom use some form of the park system somewhere. And we would sure like to be able to see what goes on here. As you guys move around town from one building to another, it gets difficult to figure out what building you're in. And I almost went across the way because I forgot which building this was. So, but that's the way it is. You know, a lot of us don't come often enough to see what's going on, but we would like to see. So we'd really like to have the council's the support for the council's objective of recording these meetings. And if it has to be done in Carnegie, it has to be done in Carnegie, and have these short little meeting that could happen, and then you could go on your tours around town, get in a bus and see how the bus system works, or however you want to do it. But those things are going to start being important to us, so we'll be putting more pressure on to get it done, and just wanted to let you know. And thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your input. We're going to be discussing that in our January committee meetings.
You bet.
And in detail. So I don't know if you have anything to add, Alan?
No, nothing more.
Okay. All right, report of the standing committees, marketing and public needs.
All items that we discussed are on today's agenda.
Okay. Park system planning and development, the items that we went over are all on the agenda as well. And partnerships and recreation.
Same, all items are on the agenda.
Okay, great. No unfinished business, so we will move to new business. We've got the Parks and Harrisburg School District Joint Usage Agreement, and I think Tori's going to kick that off for us.
Yep. I think everybody saw it in their committee meetings. We brought it to all the committees just for some of the new board members that haven't seen our joint usage agreements that we do with the school districts. This one's with the Harrisburg School District. As we talked about, the Harrisburg site at 68th and Bonson, and the other ones that we have are all in the city limits of Sioux Falls, but we're in the Harrisburg School District, and so that's why we're partnering with them. And kind of how we talked in committees as well, when we agree on joining up with the school districts at a site, we do 3 different agreements. So there's the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, which basically says the general terms of what we're partnering with, and that's basically a park school site, who's doing what, how many acres, pretty general in terms. That MOU then comes to the park board and gets approved. The second step is actually doing the construction agreement, which we also brought to the board and approved for all 3 of the sites that we have in this agreement. And that basically spells out, roughly the dollars that we'll be spending on the park side and the school district will be spending on their side. We're through that point. The site at 68th and Bonson is complete, both the park site and the school actually opened in September of this year. So now we followed up with the joint usage agreement, and basically this agreement spells out the ownership of the assets and then the maintenance responsibilities for that site. And each site basically is a separate appendix that shows, we'll take care of this part of the property, school district will take care of this part. We basically put the map together with Kelby's operations staff, and then we sit down with the school district's superintendent, and we just decide what makes sense with what type of equipment we have. We have different maintenance equipment than they do. Basically, that's the gist of the agreement. The back pages, the back 2 pages are the appendixes for the Horizon Elementary, which is at 68th and Bonson site. With that, open up to any questions you might have.
It's my understanding these joint usage agreements have gone well, and the division of the work and everything.
Yeah, we have a number of sites. I don't even know how many, but I think it's in 30 to 40 sites, and they've been a win-win. I think the public that lives around these schools, for one, they have the school there. The school can use our 5 to 8 acres, whatever we typically have. When park users then can also use their asphalt play area, and there's 2 playgrounds at each site. So I think, everybody really gets a double bang for the buck. We get all of our initial site development done as part of the school contract, so we get the benefit of having a big contract with low unit prices that we can use to our advantage.
Okay. And the maintenance, that's kind of divided up by who has what equipment that would make sense?
Yep. Typically, with the mowing responsibilities, we have the large deck mowers. So we'll mow more of the open areas, where the school district will take care of the smaller stuff around the playgrounds and around the school and that type of stuff. As far as the snow removal, these sites have been really good with Harrisburg. They get out there and actually do all the snow removal for us. Just knowing that it might take us a little longer to get there, because we have, I don't know how many miles of perimeter sidewalk that we have to remove snow from within 48 hours. So it's worked really good, and yeah, just like I said, whatever makes sense is kind of what we go by.
Any further discussion? I know we discussed this in detail in our committee meetings. If there's nothing further, do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Pat Lloyd,
Yes.
Patty Abdallah,
Yes.
Lori Lindquist,
Yes.
Mark Steinborn,
Yes.
Jim Stavinger,
Yes.
Todd Sunley.
Yes.
Okay. Next next item is the election of officers for 2017.
Okay, for 2017, it has been proposed that our president will be Patty Abdallah, vice president will be Lorraine Lindquist, and secretary will be Mark Steinborn. That is what's been proposed, and I would like to ask for approval of those nominations.
All right, should we take a vote?
All right. Pat Lloyd?
Yes?
Patty Abdallah?
Yes.
Lori Lindquist?
Yes.
Mark Steinborn?
Yes.
Jim Steffinger?
Yes.
And Todd Sinley?
Yes.
Okay. Final new business item is the approval of the standing committees. We sent out a proposed list for everyone. Hopefully you've had a chance to review that.
We just did that.
Yeah. Hold up on my phone.
I think the change was moving Lorraine to the planning development and having Pat serve on the marketing and public needs committee, and that was
Yep.
really the only switch that we had.
Otherwise, everybody else stayed on their committees, and I guess if you have any issues with the time of the meetings, that would be good to know. I didn't hear any, I don't think, when I talked to people about it, but let me know if there is any issue. And so we need a motion to okay. And can I have a motion on that as well?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, let's take a vote.
Pat Lloyd?
Yes.
Patty Abdallah?
Yes.
Lori Lindquist?
Yes.
Mark Steinborn?
Yes.
Jim Steffinger?
Yes.
Todd Sinley?
Yes.
Okay. Next is the director's report. We're happy to see Don's back in action.
Well, it's great to be back. Thank you.
Lefty.
Well, thank you. Just wanted to give the board a heads up that saw an email today that said Great Bear in its entirety is completely open for the general public to use. So
Two being two.
yeah, everything's completely open now. Also, just checking in with Mike on the horse barn project. If you remember, we had that agreement with Siouxland Ag Experience and our Stockyards Ag Experience, and essentially all the work is done, Mike, and just working on the displays is the kind of the final piece to come together.
Yeah, they're doing the educational interpretive pieces. They're still putting together all the displays and electronic educational pieces yet.
So we should put that on our tour the next time we get out and about. Gonna go check that out. Also wanted to let you know that as part of the development agreement and lease with Quest Development, if you've been by Russell Street lately, you'll notice that the old maintenance building is gone. That has been relocated to where we have our other maintenance buildings. They have, I believe, relocated an electrical line. They have a job trailer out there now. They've also have a perimeter fence for the future construction of that site. And so I think it's really just a matter of when the contractor and whether allow them to get started on the actual construction of the hotel and the restaurant. So that'll be exciting to see go up next spring. And the other thing I was going to share with you as well is Tom Jans at Dakota Golf said their preseason sales for memberships to the courses are going really well. They're tracking ahead of where they've been the last couple of years, and so I think it's probably a good sign for golf courses with the renovations we have had out at Elmwood. Obviously, people typically try to avoid construction when they can, and so it was good to hear from Tom that things seem to be tracking ahead of schedule compared to the last couple of years. So that's good news as well. And Midco Aquatic Center continues to plug along. Our first meet, Alicia, is January 20th, which will be our first official meet that we'll have at the facility. So that should be exciting to see that happen. And Any other news on the aquatic center?
Rentals continue to be strong and very popular. And we're booking multiple rentals per day on the weekends, which is really exciting, and people are having a great time. And we continue to see people buying fall, winter, spring passes still, even in November. So things are going really well, and we'll kick off swimming lessons here in January, which we're really excited about. It's going great. We're still having people apply, which is great, but we're set to go for swimming lessons with the additional staff that we need to offer lessons, and we have a great sub list, and the flexible scheduling has helped a lot.
Just finally, as a recap, kind of looking back at 2016, we always try to put together a list of some of the major accomplishments we worked with the park board on, and try to make sure that we get as much done and much good done for the park system as possible. And so I just thought I'd share with the board some of the accomplishments that we can look back on 2016. Obviously, the Midco Aquatic Center grand opening was a big one. We recently had some good news from Tori working on that long-standing easement through the country club of Sioux Falls to have trail access that would essentially connect Dunham Park with the bridge across Skunk Creek Dam that was recently constructed. So there's a west side access to the main trail loop before they had to either go north or south. And to have that in place is really good news. We talked about the Holiday Inn and Suites and the Crooked Pine Ale House in Elmwood, the Levitt Shell in Sioux Falls and Falls Park West preliminary design. We're still working through that, so that's been very positive. The tobacco-free city property ordinance did get approved, and so it is expanded beyond just our park system, and we hope to continue to be able to do more in that area. All phases of the Elmwood Golf Course renovations were completed this year. We also worked on our core values and our succession plan. There's kind of an internal department piece that was we felt was really important. We have some trail alignment studies and on the Cherry Creek corridor that we're working on, and so we'll be able to bring something to you here shortly on how that future trail might get constructed from essentially Legacy Park all the way out to University Center over time. Many of you there were for the West Side Dog Park, and then out at Family Park, and then the Zoo Society and the Arboretum Society management agreements was another significant accomplishment. And so on behalf of the staff, we'd just like to thank the board for all your efforts and dedication to the board to keep doing good work for our community. So with that, I'd take any questions you might have.
I don't have a question, but I think just a comment. I wish Tom was here. I think they've done an outstanding job of getting word out on the golf course. The testimonials, I don't know if you guys have been out there, but we got testimonials on the website. The ads promoting all 54 holes are going to be open. I mean, they've done a really good job. The informational emails for those of us that are members of the public courses, we get those on a regular basis. They're extending their hours of operation so that people have, when they're not working and stuff, they're open. So I think, if you can pass that on to Tom, that I think it's been pretty impressive what they've been doing.
Yeah, I would agree. They've done. I've heard the radio ads too. Hopefully, you guys have as well. Those are very good.
Good billboards too, 26th and Cliff, I've seen it there several times.
Yeah, I think I've seen one at 10th and Cliff too, if I remember right. And then also we had Tom do a video shoot on Channel 16. Alicia did a little Q&A with him on marketing and promoting the courses, and so kind of a full court press that we've gone out there. And Tom's done a great job, and I know our team has tried to support him with our resources that we have available too. So I think you're right on with his accomplishments there. So thank you. I'll pass that along to him.
The lights at Falls Park are amazing. It seems like there's a lot more this year, and I don't know if there is or not, but we've driven through there 2 or 3 times and find new things every time, and it just seems so expansive, and it's pretty amazing.
It's funny, we just got an email from somebody about that we went back the second time. It looks like there's more lights and it's better than it was the year before, and it sounds like no more lights, just the same program as before.
Yep,
right?
pretty much. We do move some of the animated stuff from location to location, but it's static display.
Awesome.
We had a Christmas party at Overlook Cafe, and it was right after the snow, so it was perfect. So it was really, what a great place to have a Christmas party. It's a really nice place.
Great, super.
Well, that top 10, it was a busy year.
Yeah,
good
it was a
year.
busy year.
Is that on,
It's not yet. Actually, we're just trying to scratch it out. Everybody kind of nominates, hey, I think this was one of our top 10. And so it's kind of a working draft that we have now, but with the holiday season upon us and looking at 17, I thought it'd be good to share that with the board.
yeah, if you could send it by email, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay.
I have one question about the pool. Were they, after you kind of monitor things and how people are doing using it for that lap swim, are they thinking about expanding to 15 meters, like anytime during the week, or like
Typically, we'll go by seasons, and so the long course season is typically in the summer, so May through beginning of August. And so that's when we're going to be looking at switching it to 50 meter at different times throughout the summer, and we're working on kind of developing a schedule that'll work for all the different uses that we have. So, yeah, we will be.
Because like Mark, I've had some people inquire about that.
Yep.
We talked about that, so that's
Yeah.
good, I'll pass that on.
Absolutely. And then we are looking at how we can configure it in different ways to accommodate other activities that are going on. So it's going really well.
And what about any progress on advertising, sponsorships?
We've had continuing interest on those interior sponsorships. It is kind of a back and forth process, giving them a tour, talking them through it. Depending on who the potential sponsor is, may need to go through their corporate headquarters to get approval to do something. But we continue to promote those, continue to work with potential sponsors. But at this time, we haven't closed the deal on it. But certainly out there. And
More prominent folks.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think we'll start to land some here soon.
I think the meets will help with that too.
Yeah. Should be greater exposure there too. Yep. I would agree.
Because concessionaires, are they still pleased with how things are going?
Things are going really well. Rental wise, most people that are coming to book a meeting room are going through them for concessions, and they do a wide variety of those, either the package deals or they're doing a la carte as well, and that seems to be working really well. So, and we've heard great feedback on their service and also the food. So if you haven't had a chance to check out the food, make sure you stop out there because it is really great.
And I've gotten some feedback from a couple people that have rented rooms and just how wonderful they were to work with. They did not do the packages, but they accommodated everything that they wanted. And they said the food was very good. And also from the swim team members liking the concessions there.
Oh, good.
Okay. Let's see, there were no items added after the agenda deadline. And I don't have any communications to the board of you.
No, I don't.
Okay. Anything for open board discussion? Okay. All right, if not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Great. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone. We will see you next year. Yes.
Is that,
Yes. Oh,
Rita will send out,
well, we wanted to welcome you
she'll
back.
send out
Happy
invites
holidays.
like she did last year.
Oh, I'll verify
We
that.
didn't decorate a tree very well.
Yes, so we brought you one.
Oh, my gosh.
I needed a tree.
It's like a true, real tree, it's got a little angle.
Well, thank you. Very nice.
Yes.
You guys must
So
feel
we're
sorry for
hoping
me,
that,
huh?
You can use those in your recovery and after.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
how long have you been? A couple weeks or?
About 2.5.
Yeah, well, what's the, how long?
They said 4 to 5 months before I'm back to 100%, if I get to 100%. Hopefully I do.
Have you started your therapy?
I had one today.
You're loving that, huh?
Yeah. They test you a little bit, but it's good. It actually feels better when they get done with it, so. Yeah, about twice a week I do therapy, and hopefully in 3.5 more weeks I'll have this off, and hopefully I'll be back to 100% by golf season.
Yeah, I was gonna say by spring.
Yeah, that's the goal.
300-yard drives now?
Well, I don't know about that. Not as young as I once was. Thank you again very much, appreciate it.
Y'all come back now, here.
Security, escort this gentleman out, please.
Come on, Soda Pop, let's go.